Hi there. Thank you for taking the time to watch this webinar on supporting and valuing differences in neurodiverse interaction. Welcome to this next webinar in our series on neurodiverse interaction. My name is Megan Handley and I'm an assistant psychologist in the Children's Disability Network team in Bray, County Wicklow. This webinar will focus on the topic of perspective taking. The aims for this session is to discuss perspective taking in more detail, with a particular focus on the importance of looking at points of view of both sides. We know that perspective taking can be challenging for all young people and can impact upon friendships and relationships. And one of the aims of this session is to provide some suggestions to support with social misunderstanding. We will discuss the importance of supporting young people in developing a greater understanding of themselves and others. When we understand ourselves better, we are in a better position to advocate for ourselves, and it can help to give us confidence in sharing our perspective with others. The double empathy problem is a topic that is increasingly being discussed in relation to neurodiverse interaction and in the area of perspective taking in particular. As was previously mentioned in the first webinar of this series, over 10 years ago, Daniel Milton described the concept of double empathy problem as difficulties with mutual understanding, often being due to non-autistic people not trying to see the perspective of autistic individuals. This experience is being shared by the adult neurodivergent population, and as clinicians working with neurodiverse children, we need to account for this in our own practice, in particular with regard to goal setting and the language we are using around neurodiverse styles, preferences, and what helps neurodiverse children to feel safe and regulated in different contexts. So how can we support young people with perspective taking? One of the first steps is to educate neurodivergent children and young people about the double empathy problem and how misunderstandings can be due to relational difficulty between people with different perspectives. It can be very helpful to clarify that misunderstandings are not due to the communication style of the neurodivergent person alone. It can also be helpful to teach young people about different communication styles and to discuss with them some of the breakdowns in communication they may encounter in the community. This can help prepare them for different social situations or scenarios. Another thing we can do is support young people to learn strategies for repairing communication breakdowns. An example of this might be supporting them in asking for clarification when they don't understand something. An important way of supporting the development of perspective taking is by us taking the time to check in with children and young people and making an effort to try and understand their perspective. We can also share our own perspective on different situations and model how to repair misunderstandings when they occur in your relationship. Another important thing to consider is the timing of these types of conversations and the approach that you take. It is generally best to wait until the young person is calm and regulated before trying to explore other people's perspectives with them. As with everybody, if there's a situation where someone is upset, angry, or anxious, it is important to always validate their perspective first. For example, saying something like, "I can see that this has upset you." It can be useful to observe when your child is most at ease and open to chat. Sometimes parents find that they can have some of these more sensitive types of conversations when they are out walking together or in the car. It can be helpful to develop a collaborative partnership approach with your child and to try and work out different situations together, rather than the parent always being the one to rush to fix the situation or to just tell the child what way to respond. By talking things through and trying to consider the perspective of everyone involved, we are helping the young person to develop this skill for themselves. In a general sense, the more you try to nurture and build trust with your child, the easier it can make helping some of these discussions. For example, spending some quality one-to-one time together, watching a movie or series that they are interested in together, or getting to know their friends and learning more about their interests. There are many ways to help your child practice perspective taking. Some examples include, when watching movies or TV shows together, you could talk about how the characters might be feeling or thinking. You can support your child to make predictions about what might happen next in situations. You could start the conversation around what you think and what they think might happen in a situation, and note whether your predictions are the same or different. You could also use photo albums, family videos, and memories of past experiences to talk about your different perspectives. You could talk about how each of you felt at the time of the picture, how you feel talking about it now, and whether or not your feelings are the same or different. It can be helpful to explain that it is okay for you all to have different feelings about the same situation. When discussing different topics and situations, it can be helpful to explicitly talk through your thought process and put words on how you are feeling. When reacting to something, use vocabulary that tunes your child into your feelings in the moment. For example, I'm feeling very excited about going out today. I can feel butterflies in my tummy. Some young people enjoy discussing different social issues, and this can be an interesting way to explore the different experiences and perspectives of others. Some questions that can support perspective taking on both sides include: how did you feel? Why did you say or do that? Why does that make you feel like that? Why do you think or feel like that? What do you think of what happened? What could you do next time? Some questions that might help your child take the perspective of others may also include: what might they be thinking or feeling? Why might they feel that way? Why do you think they did that? What do you think they'll do next? As previously mentioned, it is important to only ask these types of questions when your young person is calm and regulated. For some young people, these types of questions might be challenging, so they might need you to make more comments initially than ask questions. Some examples of comments to support perspective taking include: I think you might be feeling nervous. I can see from his body language that he might be feeling angry. I wonder what she might do next. I think that happened because. It is important to then pause and allow your young person time to respond. In all of these discussions and conversations with your young person, one of the most important things to explain is that it is okay for people to have different views and feelings about the same situations. Thank you for listening to this section on perspective taking. The next section, presented by Camilla Egan, will discuss some practical strategies to support the development of this skill.
For further information on strategies, you can also find a leaflet on the Enable Ireland website with tips from the team on supporting neurodiverse interaction.